Hello there, crafty friends. It's Alicia of the Call Me Crafty Al YouTube channel, and I am back today with another Card a Day in July video. I announced this video series earlier in the month, and in that announcement, I let you know how you could play along with me. So make sure to check out that video, which is linked in the description box below. My goal this month is to try to get crafty every day and share it here with you on YouTube. I would really love to get out some of the products that I have never used or the products that I used to love and have had in storage for a while. Once I start my card process, I will start doing a voiceover. If you have any questions that I don't answer in the voiceover, make sure to leave those in the comment section below. You're probably not the only one with the question. For today's card, which is my 11th in the series, I will be stamping and coloring an image with the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, I always appreciate a thumbs up. And if this is your first time to my channel, I hope by the end of the video you'll be inspired to hit that subscribe button. To my regular viewers and subscribers, thanks so much for stopping back by. Here we go. The stamp set that I'm going to be using today is Wakely Girl from Unity Stamp Company. Because I will be heat embossing, I'll be using my Versamark and then my Detail Black embossing powder. This will just help me stay in the lines while coloring. I also got out my embossing buddy, and for my clean color markers, I got out deep red, flesh color, and gray brown. Later on the screen, I will have the numbers on there for those if you're interested. To blend out my marker, I'll be using the Spectrum Noir Crystal Clear Sparkle Pen. For my pattern paper, I chose this Die Cuts with a View Girls Rule Stack, and I pre-cut a piece that was the size of a card front and then a couple strips. And the paper is double-sided, so the other side has the opposite pattern. I also cut a piece of the Bristol Smooth to 3.5 by 5.5. To start out my card, I will be stamping and heat embossing the image and the sentiment. I just want to place it correctly, so I kind of mess with it here until I have her standing upright and centered in that piece of white cardstock. Just like always, before I put on my powder or stamp, I do use my embossing buddy, and I will stamp her a couple times. She's newer, so I want to make sure I get a good clean image. The next step was to do the same thing with my sentiment, which reads, "I love that you're part of my story." Once those were both stamped and had the powder on them, I got out my heat tool and set that embossing powder. And now it is time to color my image. I am just going to do very basic coloring today. I will mainly just be coloring the girl and even leaving her hair uncolored, but I wanted to bring out the red in the pattern paper, and then later you'll see because of her boots I do add in some gray cardstock. But I am no master at coloring, but what I try to do is match my stroke of color with kind of the area that I have to fill in. So if it's a smaller area, I do a finer line on the outside. And because I could not figure out how to control my water brush correctly, I kept getting puddles of water. I am using the Spectrum Noir Crystal Clear Brush Pen to blend my colors in, and not only does it blend really easily, but it gives a nice shimmer to the finished image. You'll notice that when I color the skirt, even though I did start with a wider stroke on the outside, after I blended it, the skirt was still kind of light. So I went back in and did another round of darker red on the outside and re-blended that just to fill in some color and make it match the top of the dress better. To die cut my sentiment, I chose this little tag and I held it in place with a little piece of Scotch removable tape while I ran it through the die cutter. Now I did heat emboss the image to help me stay inside the lines when coloring, but I did get a little outside there, and I am just using my mono sand eraser to get rid of what I can from my coloring outside the lines. I trimmed my piece of white cardstock down to 3 inches wide just to take off the extra white so I could see more of the pattern paper on the card. Originally I was going to use the reverse side of the pattern paper for a little border, but then I decided to go with this gray cardstock. It went nicely with the red in the background, and then of course it kind of pulled out the gray in her boots. And you know I love it. Here comes my big roll of foam tape. I used to be really conscientious and only use this for shaker cards, but since I did end up finding it again on Amazon, I use this a lot for when I need just a little dimension. The thickness of this, which the website says it's a 1/16 of an inch, I don't think it's really that thin. It reminds me of Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and I just love that little bit of lift that this gives. Now, because my tag is going to hang off on the right side, I did have to double up the foam tape on the right edge of the die cut. And here is a look at my finished card. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and until my next one, I hope you're having a crafty day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch all the way to the end of the video. I hope that you'll consider clicking on one of the videos or playlists I have linked above, and if you're interested in any of the products or tools that I use in the video, I do have some links in the description box.